Okay, let's unpack a case today that really terrified backpackers globally.
Mhm.
But we're going to look at it through a very specific lens.
Which is,
How a digital footprint can become the star witness when, the victim can no longer speak. We're doing a deep dive into the 2018 murder of Grace Millane.
yeah, it's a heavy one. I've been going through the police reports, the court transcripts,
Mhm.
and the sources. They paint this picture of a tragedy that didn't just end a life.
Right.
It actually forced a change in New Zealand law, a big one, about victim blaming.
So let's set the scene. Grace was 22, from the UK, on her big post-university trip of a lifetime. She lands in Auckland. It's December 1st. What stands out to me is just how quickly this all happened.
It was incredibly fast. I mean, she arrived the day before her 22nd birthday. She matched with a guy on Tinder.
Her 26-year-old.
Exactly. And everything looked normal on the CCTV. They went to a few bars, then entered his hotel at 9:41 p.m. And that's the last time anyone saw her alive.
And this is where it gets really different from older cases. Usually you're looking for fibers, fingerprints, right? Physical clues.
Mm-hmm.
But here, the breakthrough came almost entirely from the cloud.
Completely. The digital forensics were the smoking gun. When Grace didn't answer birthday texts the next day, her family knew something was wrong, so police pulled the data.
And while her friends and family are panicking, the killer's phone is telling this whole other
A
story.
very disturbing story. I was looking at the search history logs. That's chilling.
He wasn't searching for how to help someone.
Far from it. At 1:29 a.m., while Grace was likely already dead in his room, he's searching for... Wait, what? There are volcanoes in New Zealand. Just casually browsing.
Wow.
But then the searches pivot. He Googles flesh-eating birds and are there vultures in New Zealand?
So he's already thinking about how to get rid of the body.
He's planning, and then the most damning search of all is strangulation murder.
That one search just destroys any claim of ignorance, doesn't it?
It does, but he didn't even go on the run. This is the part that speaks to a level of detachment that, well, it shocked everyone.
He went on another Tinder date.
The very next day, while Grace's body was stuffed in a suitcase in his hotel room, he eventually buried her in a forested area just outside the city.
So let's move to the trial, because this is where the second major insight really lies. The defense strategy.
It was controversial, to say the least. They used what's known as the rough sex defense.
Which is what exactly?
The defense claimed Grace died accidentally during consensual sex. You know, a sex game gone wrong, not murder.
But wait, what about the digital evidence we just talked about? The strangulation murder search.
That was the huge hurdle for them, obviously.
Yeah.
But the forensics also just dismantled the whole accident theory. The pathology report was clear.
What did it say?
It showed Grace died from manual strangulation. And for anyone listening, you have to understand the distinction.
Why is that so important?
Because you can't accidentally manually strangle someone to death. It's not a fleeting moment. It requires significant, continuous pressure for minutes.
Long after the person would lose consciousness.
Exactly. The science proves it takes sustained, violent effort. It requires intent to keep applying that pressure.
So the jury didn't buy it.
Not for a second. In November 2019, they found him guilty of murder. He got life in prison with a minimum of 17 years.
But the impact of that rough sex defense, it didn't end there, did it? This is what triggered the legal reform.
Right. If you connect this to the bigger picture, there was this massive public backlash. People were outraged at how Grace's sexual history was dragged into court to support his story.
It's like putting the victim on trial.
That's exactly how people saw it. And it led to real changes in New Zealand's Evidence Act. The goal was to restrict how a victim's sexual history could even be brought up.
To prevent that kind of character shaming.
Precisely. Just because someone consented to something in the past with someone else doesn't mean they consented to being choked to death. It's a vital protection.
Her parents, they spoke about her as someone who trusted the world. It's just so heartbreaking. That trust was weaponized against her.
And the legal system had to catch up to make sure her memory wasn't weaponized, too.
It's a harsh reality check, isn't it? We have these tools, dating apps, solo travel, that offer incredible freedom, but they also remove those traditional safety nets.
That's the tension of modern life. We're more connected than ever, but often totally anonymous to the people we meet face to face.
Grace Millane set out to explore the world, and in this instance, the world failed to protect her. So the thought I want to leave you with is this. In an era where digital evidence is so powerful, are we over-relying on it to solve crimes after they happen, instead of figuring out how to prevent this kind of violence in the first place?
It's the uncomfortable question we absolutely have to keep asking.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Please, take care of yourselves out there.